What's going on, lads? Where do you even begin to sort of sensibly kind of analyze this one? I saw maybe one player today that looked like a Manchester United player, and it was Christian Eriksen, probably the only one that looked like he had the qualities to be a Manchester United player. Go through every single other player in that team, and at times just looked like a bang average footballer. Not only doing it, I mean, Martinez at times looked quite good, and probably first half or so he impressed me, but just Eriksen. Someone in the comments there just said, why didn't Eriksen make the changes at half time? Well, he made them 5 minutes after half time. I think he brought Ronaldo 5 minutes after half time. I don't know why he didn't. But are we pinning our hopes on a guy that literally wears a pacemaker while he plays, which is such a huge gamble, and he's literally out there being our best player? We have probably one bought first choice signing that's playing for us. Would Eriksen have played if we'd have had a striker? Probably wouldn't have done, to be honest. Probably wouldn't have done, which means like, who would have been? We've had one first team player by the opening day of the season, one first team player. I mean, without just absolutely rinsing through every single person in the team and tearing a new one. The chat's going a little bit fast for me to read here. Let's just see if we can see that one there from Peter Knight. Why did we resort to playing it long when we didn't have a 9? Everything we did in pre-season out the window. This happens with teams. When a team sits back against you, it becomes extremely difficult to play through them. So your default option, because you're wanting to get the ball forward, because you correlate being in the final third with possession in the opposition's box to opportunities to score, but it's not always the case. A lot of the time, it's counterintuitive, right? You want to almost play the ball back and then start to play through them again, because it's easier to play through a team that's strung out than compact and just sitting in on itself. But it's counterintuitive to play it backwards to draw them out, whereas it probably is the correct thing to do, but it takes composure and confidence to play it like that, to do the right thing, as opposed to put it in the mixer. Because everyone just thinks, just get it forward, just stick it in the mixer. You're in the right sort of zones. You can have whatever you want going on there. But that's not what we saw from us today. And yeah, we went against the principles that we saw us learning in pre-season. It's going to take months before we fully see it in a competitive match as slick as we saw it in pre-season, at times in pre-season, because it's just difficult to do against top opposition. Brighton have lost arguably 2 of their best players, and they didn't even bring on Lamptey till late in the game, and still causes all sorts of problems. Danny Welbeck looked ridiculous. That shows you can get a tune, a top manager, and that just proves that Potter's in that category. A top manager can get a tune out of players. And I believe Ten Hag can probably get a tune out of some of these players that we've probably written off. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen immediately. And it won't be every player either. It'll be some players, because they've got the right stuff about them, will be able to get a tune out of. But some players you won't. I've been saying for a long time, Scott McTominay is a limited footballer. And in the preview, I said I actually think that you're probably going to see McTominay and Fred. And I don't like how they come as a package. But they're Ant and Dec. They're Ant and Dec of United's midfield, and they're going to come as a package. And one can't be picked without the other, obviously. And I don't like it necessarily, but it's the way it is. Ross Murphy says Welbeck's hold-up play, we missed that. It was his link play and his hold-up play. Frank says, Steve, Laurie Whitwell tweeting, we've bid for Arnautovic. I know, I just texted him and been like, is this fucking real? And he just put, yep. Where do we go from here? Well, you dust yourself down and you get back to the training ground and you try and figure out the things that specifically went wrong. Klaus has got a great point there, and he goes, I don't know who watches this and goes, you know what this team's missing? Arnautovic. This Arnautovic, I think, might have played 3 seasons in the Chinese Super League before going to... See, me and Ronaldo's in the game with us today. We had to Google where the fuck Arnautovic was because we didn't know. He's at Bologna for anyone interested. But why are we looking at another 33-year-old centre-forward? I mean, 14 goals in 33 games is not exactly disgraceful, but it's nothing to fucking write home about, is it? It's not going to be the one where we go, do you know what? Yes. You can see where Adi Young improves us in the centre of the park. But it ain't going to do it alone. My whole thing is I don't believe in Harry Maguire in the slightest. In the slightest. I don't rate him. I don't believe in him. I find his fundamental ball playing off the pace. I don't think he scans anywhere near enough. I just don't rate him as a footballer in the slightest. Yeah, he's our captain. And De Gea had us in trouble today with some of his playing out. I don't know if he's capable of fixing that in his game to be able to take his game to the level that's required. Kyle, this is a great one. It's like going on exercise with your section, teaching them the SOPs, then going on tour and the blokes cut their own detail. That seemed like is what it was, yeah. It's like we did all the dry drills in training and we've done an exercise and everyone's nodded and said they know the job and then they've got out there and it looks like fucking Russia versus Ukraine. It's gone absolutely to rat shit. Some people think I have an agenda against Luke Shaw and apparently against Harry Maguire as well. The only agenda I have is wanting Manchester United to be a force again, and that's it. And I'm seeing too many people, Scott, Luke Shaw, Maguire. I didn't think Rashford was very good today. I didn't think Sancho was very good today. I don't think Ronaldo was good when he came on. I don't think Delo was good. No, how is this an agenda? Literally just listing people. I don't think De Gea was good. I don't think Fred was good. I don't think Bruno was good. I literally think the only player that was worth a wank on the pitch today was Christian Eriksen. Is it panic stations? Probably not, no. But you've got to be honest and call a poor performance, a collective poor performance, a poor performance. You can't claim it was anything other than a poor performance. But the goals were incidences where they were preventable. I don't believe we were fully adhering to the game plan that we've been given from Ten Hag from just watching it. You can see that we've obviously worked back on up, back and through as a play modal, if you want, something that they clearly want to work on. I like up back. I think up, back and through is a very, very easy way to introduce simple one-touch play with movement off the ball and get third man runs in, right? And I think that's such an easy thing to impose on a team in terms of a style of play and how you carry possession. I can see it more now than ever before in United's play. And I saw us trying it today, but the final ball, the execution, because of who it was coming into at times, just wasn't there. There wasn't enough off the ball movement in the final third. There wasn't enough quality when it arrived in there. And I think there's a little bit of lack of confidence in some of the players, Marcus especially. You know, someone there's Daniel's just said, why was Varane on the bench? I think that's just a pure minutes thing. I don't think he's quite got the minutes in his legs to be able to say it yet. But, you know, you've got him on the bench. You didn't have Ethan Laird on the bench. And I think Ethan Laird can be better than Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. What's going on with him? Mitrovic, 45 goals in his last 45 games. Yes, but most of those goals came in. Most of those goals came in the Chinese Super League. So, what's the value of that? I honestly don't know what the exchange rate from the Chinese Super League to the Premier League is. Daniel Berry says, in pre-season we're using 3 at the back to build possession. We didn't do that today. We did do that at times. I did see us doing that at times, but I agree it wasn't quick and snappy the way it was in pre-season. There wasn't enough bravery in the ball. We actually tried it early doors, and I think someone got burnt and was like, actually, just fucking ease off. This is a bit cagey, and just the confidence went from the lads then, and that was that. JYS says we need faster game and counter. We do need to be faster. There was a lot of times today where United got on the ball and went, I think I'm just going to look around, and there wasn't enough speed of thought. There wasn't enough. Football's at its best when it's one touch. It goes into someone and he one touches it to the side, and then that person maybe puts a diag on it, and then that person plays it forward in the path of somebody else. Football is at its absolute peak when it's one touch. And I can't really think of any times that United did it. I think Brighton did it more to us. And how did Brighton find so much fucking space on the pitch? Brighton consistently perform better than the sum of their parts. And that is unforgivable. For us to be looking at them, seeing the investment that they've made, lose their 2 best players, and just fucking crack on like nothing's ever happened. Oh, sorry, Mitrovic. Oh, I'm sorry, I got Mitrovic and Arnautovic mixed up. My bad. Yeah, I thought we were talking about Arnautovic. Yeah, Mitrovic. I had him in my dream team. Don't worry about that. Unlike every fucking loser that put Gabriel Jesus in. Was the grass too dry? I don't think the grass was dry. It looked fantastic. And do you know what? What a shitter it is as well. First Premier League game of the season. Everything looks fucking sensational, doesn't it? Absolutely sensational. The colours, the vibe, the atmosphere, I mean, even Scottish football before looked nice and bright. I don't know why we don't play more football in the summer. Just absolutely pissed all over our chips, that though, with the performance and the level of, well, the performance and the result. Simple as that. And not only that, it's almost a case of like, are we relying now on 2 weeks of a window to be able to save our season? How are we going to do that? We're not going to do that, are we? We're not going to invest or sign anywhere near enough to make an impact. I don't believe. BS Greenall says, does Sancho ever take a man on anymore? Feels like he's lost his self-belief. I noticed that. Sancho didn't look like he wanted to beat somebody. Jonathan says, today United were a joke. Yeah, and I agree at that. Just depressing. Depressing start. Love to sit here and be hopeful and get 3 points on the board and put a marker down for the season. And we've not done that. And now we've got Arsenal fans here who just fucking scrape past a pure average Crystal Palace thinking that they're special. Don't you worry. Wait till the Europa League music kicks in. You fucked it. Right. I'm going to call it a day there. 5 things will be out in the morning. There might actually be some insight in that because at the moment I'm just fucking fucked off, to be honest with you. Wrapping up, I think Christian Eriksen's the only one worth fucking keeping based on today's performance. Absolutely not good enough. See you in the next one.